Quinsu died in a car accident the day before her wedding. Everyone thought I would break down, but I didn't cry or make a scene. 5 years later, I encountered her at a hotel. She had amnesia after being resurrected. Amidst the cheers of the crowd, she and my stepbrother shared a deep, passionate kiss. Seeing me alone, she smiled triumphantly. "I heard you were my fiancé? Still waiting for me after 5 years? You're the ultimate simp. Are you just that obsessed with me? I know you love me to death. And considering you've remained celibate for me these past 5 years, I might buy you a house on the side. But I will only legally marry Charles. I'll be with Charles on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and visit you on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. You should be secretly thrilled." I actually chuckled. "I'm sorry, you must have mistaken me for someone else." Quinsu doesn't know that on the night of her accident, I received a video. What she doesn't know is that during the 5 blissful years she and Charles Lin spent together, I had already married another woman and even have a 4-year-old child. And that woman is her own aunt. Besides, I'm already married. After a brief moment of silence, the scene suddenly erupted in raucous laughter. Quinsu raised her eyebrows dismissively. "Married? Did you marry a garbage collector or a street sweeper?" "Mike Lee, you don't actually think I'd be jealous over such a pathetic excuse, do you? Are you out of your mind?" She immediately recognized the familiar watch on my wrist, grabbed it forcefully, and tore it off before I could react. I winced in pain, and just as I was about to speak, Charles Lin chuckled. "Quinsu, isn't that the eternal love watch your aunt bid $2 billion for in country 5 years ago? My brother isn't trying to say he married your aunt and became your uncle, is he?" As soon as he said that, everyone laughed even louder. As everyone knows, the person in power of the Su family is Quinsu's aunt, Wendy Su. Although only 5 years older than Quinsu, she is a powerful figure who commands respect just by mentioning her name. Not only is she stunningly beautiful, but she's also deeply devoted and faithful. Married for 5 years, yet no one has ever seen her husband or daughter. She keeps them completely hidden. Bro, are you even bothering to think before you brag now? We'd believe you if you said you were with a sugar mama, but you're claiming to be Quinsu's aunt's husband? Have you no shame? Someone joked, holding up a watch. I must say, this watch is a pretty good fake. It must have cost a fortune. Mike Lee really went all out to deceive Quinsu. Faced with everyone's doubts and ridicule, I helplessly explained, "I didn't fake it, this watch is real." Before I could finish speaking, an unexpected slap landed hard, and a burning pain instantly exploded on my cheek. "Are you sick? Why did you have to pick on my aunt? Everyone knows my aunt loves M. Why uncle more than anything? Would she want a second-hand reject like you, someone even I wouldn't touch? If you don't have a mirror, go take a look at yourself. I hate trash like you who pretends to be cool everywhere just because you're jealous. I was so blind to have ever liked a man like you. It's so degrading." I covered my face and slowly turned around. Perhaps my gaze was too calm. Quinsu suddenly looked away, guiltily. Charles Lin, however, wouldn't let it go. "Brother, Quinsu has amnesia but is still willing to have an affair with you. You should be grateful, yet you still want to harm her. You know that President Ruan cares most about her husband, and you still dare to impersonate Quinsu's uncle. Aren't you just bringing her bad luck? You're so selfish and vicious." Charles Lin is my stepmother's son. It was the 7th day after my mother's death. Still at the funeral, my dad forced me to accept this brother, a year younger than me, by holding my head down. He's Lee, who a persistent ghost, unable to tolerate any beauty in my life. He steals everything he can, and destroys what he can't. 5 years ago, Quinsu would shield me with her slender frame, coldly rebuking Charles Lin. Now, the person before me is still her, but she stands in front of Charles, tossing a wad of cash at me with a disdainful look. "Isn't all this about the money? Pick it up." The sharp paper cut my forehead. Tiny beads of blood welled up, but I didn't wipe them away. Instead, I caught a subtle flicker of nervousness in Quinsu's eyes. The next second, I bent down. She immediately breathed a sigh of relief and smiled mockingly. "That's right, a simp should act like a simp." From a pile of red bills, I picked up the watch that had been tossed into the corner. Quinsu stared at me in disbelief, an inexplicable sense of panic rising within her. Before I could leave, she suddenly grabbed my hand. "Are you enjoying this act? Isn't there enough money here to buy your cheap, fake watch?" I don't understand why she got so agitated. "Let go," she said. She glared at me through gritted teeth. "You really won't shed a tear until you see the coffin, will you? Fine. Charles and I are holding our wedding in a week, and my aunt will be returning to the country that day. You should come to the ceremony too, so my aunt can get a good look at how shameless you are. You piece of trash," I threw away. Charles Lin couldn't hide the joy on his face when he heard about the wedding. "Brother, are you afraid of being exposed and won't dare to come?" I carefully put away the watch and replied indifferently, "Okay, I will go. I hope you won't regret it." I walked out of the private room and paused at the door for a few minutes. Quinsu's best friend sighed. "Quinn, aren't you taking this too far? Mike Lee is acting strange. Could he actually be married? That's impossible. He's just acting," Quinsu said with absolute certainty. "With his pathetic behavior, all I have to do is beckon, and he'll come crawling back like a dog." Thinking about how calm I looked when I left, she pursed her lips, looking uneasy. "I'm tired of playing this game anyway. After the wedding, I'll recover my memory, complain a little, and tell him I love him the most. I guarantee he'll come crawling back, eager to please, just like a dog. That's why I say Quinsu is so clever. One trick, amnesia. And not only did she enjoy herself for 5 years, but she also made Mike Lee wait for her, without regret, for 5 years. Charles Lin complained, unwilling to accept it. Quinn-Soo, now that you've recovered your memory, what about me? Quinn-Soo pinched his abdominal muscles obsessively. What it was like before, it will be like in the future. Besides, where's the thrill in an open relationship compared to a secret affair? I listened quietly, my heart growing cold. I hurried to the hotel entrance, taking several deep breaths to suppress my nausea. Quinn-Soo doesn't know the T 5 years ago, on the night of her supposed death in a car accident, I received a video. I opened my phone. Her voice, laced with laughter, said, I love Mike Lee, but he's so dull. The thought of being married and having only him makes me utterly bored. I'm going to fake my death and go have fun for a few years, then come back and claim amnesia. Remember to record plenty of videos of him being desperate and heartbroken. I can't wait to see him suffering for me. The day the doctor pronounced her dead, I fulfilled her wish. The crushing despair was so overwhelming, I couldn't even cry. I even contemplated dying with her, but her close friends desperately stopped me. I was completely oblivious to the phone secretly recording my pain. Even more so, I failed to notice the ridicule they desperately suppressed beneath their masks of false grief. I put my phone away. From that day forward, Quinn-Soo's staged death meant she was truly dead to me. The news of Quinn-Soo being alive was revealed alongside her wedding announcement, causing a huge uproar. That night, Charles Lin updated his social media. A romantic wedding scene, an exquisite and beautiful wedding dress, the diamond ring destined for this lifetime. Quinn-Soo meticulously prepared all of this for our wedding back then. In the photo, their fingers were intertwined, accompanied by cloying love notes. I glanced at it and was about to exit when Quinn-Soo's message popped up. Aren't you jealous to the point of madness? I immediately deleted and blocked him. Charles Lin's message then appeared. You saw it, right? You're just a dog for our amusement. Only I am worthy of being the Soo family's son-in-law. Without a word, I gave him the same treatment. A week later, the wedding proceeded as scheduled. Because my daughter was clinging to me, by the time I arrived at the hotel, the wedding had already reached the exchange of watches. Quinn-Soo, who had been frequently looking towards the entrance, visibly XED when her eyes met mine as I entered. She smiled and, when the officiant asked if she was willing to marry the groom, she deliberately hesitated for a moment. But she waited in vain for my reaction. Seeing me standing in the crowd and applauding as if nothing were amiss, her face turned cold. I don't know who it was, but someone pushed me hard from behind. Caught off guard, I stumbled and fell against the drinks table beside me. The champagne tower, taller than a person, collapsed with a deafening crash. Liquor mixed with shards of glass rained down on me. Blood streamed down my forehead, and through my blurred vision, I thought I saw Quinn-Soo anxiously take a couple of steps towards me. But Charles Lin rushed forward, blocking her path. He grabbed me tightly, his eyes reddened with tears. Brother, I kindly invited you to my wedding. How could you deliberately cause a scene? I know you're jealous that Quinn-Soo only loves me now. You can hit me, you can yell at me, but do you have to ruin my happiness to feel satisfied? Are you really so resentful of my happiness? Charles Lin was incredibly strong, clutching a shard of broken glass and desperately digging it into my flesh. The pain made my scalp crawl. Instinctively, I tried to push him away, but he suddenly fell backward. The next instant, a red wine bottle came crashing down on my head. A loud buzzing filled my ears, and the pain made my vision black out. I looked up and met Quinn-Soo's furious gaze. Are you some kind of leech? I don't even remember you, yet you're still trying to cling to me. I've never seen such a shameless man. Apologized to Charles. Many guests were in attendance, most of whom came specifically to see Wendy Soo. To curry favor with Quinn-Soo, they began attacking me indiscriminately. Everyone has their pride. Miss Soo doesn't even remember you, yet you're still fawning over her like a lapdog. You're an embarrassment to men. If you're so desperate for a woman, why don't you strip naked and go to a sugar mama's bed? And you're going to cause a scene at their wedding? You're so jealous of your own brother's happiness. It's truly malicious. Just look at his menacing face. You can tell he'll be a domestic abuser after they're married. Luckily, Miss Soo didn't marry this criminal back then. Just then, Charles Lin suddenly pointed at my wrist in a panic. Brother, I told you President Soo would be attending today. How dare you still wear this fake eternal love? Could it be that you say you love Quinn-Soo, but actually want to seduce President Soo? As soon as he said this, everyone noticed the watch on my wrist. Immediately, someone said loudly, I heard that a man once claimed to have had a one-night stand with President Soo and went to her house. After her husband heard about it, he only took off this eternal love for one day. The next day, that man was found in Country A's underground gray market, with a collar around his neck and all 4 limbs missing. Here, ing this, Quinn-Soo's face immediately darkened. Charles Lin said hypocritically, Quinn-Soo, with so many people watching, my brother can't keep his hands, not before President Soo finds out. Quinn-Soo was silent for 2 seconds, then picked up a dining knife from the table. I took 2 steps back, but was surrounded, and several strong guests directly restrained my hands. Quinn-Soo, if you dare hurt me, Wendy won't let you get away with it. Brother, don't be stubborn now. You don't know how ruthless President Soo is. When she comes to deal with you, it won't be as simple as losing a pair of hands. Quinn-Soo only wants your hands because you were once her fiancé. Quinn-Soo approached me, a flicker of pain in her eyes. I'll make this quick. They held my hands down with force, and despair washed over me. I shouted, my face ashen, let go. My wife is Wendy Soo. Everyone looked at me as if I were insane. Quinn-Soo knelt down. I know you're doing this because you love me too much, trying to get my attention. Don't say such crazy things again. Even if you lose a hand, I won't be disgusted by you. As soon as she finished speaking, she brought the knife down. The watch and my hand were chopped off together. Charles Lin quickly picked up the severed hand and threw it out the window. My eyes felt like they were splitting. The pain almost made me faint. When I looked up, I saw his triumphant, sinister smile through my blurry vision. Quinn Su, that's enough. Be careful you can't clean up the mess when your memory returns. A friend couldn't help but whisper. Charles Lin immediately interrupted. Quinn Su, President Su is coming soon. Do you want to watch my brother get his limbs chopped off and be put in a dog collar? Mr. Peter is right. You can always get a prosthetic if you lose a hand. It's better than losing your life. Quinn Su's wavering expression instantly hardened. Looking at me shivering and curled up, she gritted her teeth and said, Mike Lee, I'm due. ING this for your own good, too. I'll make it up to you in the future. My face was pale and covered in cold sweat. The pain rendered me speechless. Just as the silver knife handle was about to fall again, the banquet hall doors were suddenly thrown open. Wendy Su, surrounded by a crowd, strode in on high heels.